Conor McGregor says it's not over. He wants another crack at Poirier. Considering he cracked his lower leg, he's going to need some healing from that before they go again. And if Dustin Poirier even entertains that, you can make the argument that he might not want to. Maybe he wants to go fight Charles Oliveira for the title. He's proved everything he needed to prove. Now he wants to go win the title from Oliveira. But this is how the trilogy has played out. UFC 178, McGregor won via TKO at featherweight. Poirier returned the favor in January at lightweight via TKO. And then on this night at UFC 264, Poirier winning by TKO at lightweight because of a doctor stoppage, as we saw an absolute wild finish at UFC 264. Get some instant analysis. Welcoming UFC Hall of Famer Rashad Evans. Rashad, your reaction to what you just witnessed?
Oh my gosh, listen, Hakeem, I'm still just thrilled over just the whole up and down battle of that first round. So many emotions in the first round. It kind of just had me a little at the edge of my seat a bit, but man, what a finish. Not the way I expected, but at the end of the day, great first round. A lot of back and forth action. Early out, though, I thought Conor McGregor was really doing a good job making sure that he was maintaining the distance. He came out and had a heavy leg kick game. And then when Conor has a heavy leg kick game, that's a good move for Conor McGregor, because what that does, it allows his opponents to not know it's a space and then operate in that illusion of knowing where he's at and then commit on a punch where he's not there and then fall victim to that blazing left hand. And we've seen Dustin get caught with it, but Dustin's a dog fighter, and that's what he likes. Once it got hot, he took him down to the ground and took him out.
Did you agree with Dustin Poirier saying that he checked one of the kicks from Conor? What did you see there?
I didn't see it personally, but I can definitely tell it was definitely from something that he hit earlier, something on bone, because the way it went down and broke, it looks as if it was fractured most definitely beforehand.
Can you believe the way this played out with all of the hype, right? And all of what Conor McGregor was bringing into this fight. You remember he was cordial, respectful going into the second fight. He loses to Poirier via knockout. And then in this third fight, he comes back. It's the trash-talking Conor McGregor, the one we know and love. The swagger is back. He looks like the old Conor McGregor. And that's what he looked like early in round one. But then this happens. It's such a disappointing finish, Rashad.
Such a disappointing finish. He was looking so good. Even when he was on the ground, he was still very competitive. Had Dustin in trouble a couple times with the guillotine chokes, even though he wasn't really close to submitting it but one time. But those are the kind of thing that gets you tired on the bottom, where you don't get a chance to rest on top and you're having to work the whole time. Even if they would have came back up to their feet, Conor would have been a little bit tired, but Dustin would have been also tired as well too, because Conor was very busy and active off the ground. But I mean, anytime Conor gets taken to the ground and Dustin gets on top, he just mauls him, and then Conor comes up different. It was just, it was a great strategy, great fight by Dustin.
So what does this mean now for Conor McGregor? Like what's next? Where do we go from here?
Where he needs to go is he needs to fight Dustin again. To be honest, I mean that's the Conor that we have right now. We have this blockbuster Conor where he fights these fights that they're just these vengeful fights, because at this point he's not really competitive in the weight class anymore. I mean, these guys, he's just not meeting the mark anymore. I think if he doesn't fight Dustin Poirier for the fourth time, then I think that he should fight at least Nate Diaz. That would be an interesting matchup, and that will be drawing some huge headlines.
So do you think, and granted, it's a huge payday for Dustin Poirier, but would he entertain a fourth fight? Is that something he's interested in doing? He's already beaten Conor McGregor twice in his book. Why not go win the title from Charles Oliveira?
Yeah, I mean, he can go and do that, but at the end of the day, let's be honest, it's a money game. You want to make as much money as you can, and when you fight a guy like Conor McGregor, that pads the bank account big time. But not only that, it really kind of brings you to another level when it comes to your celebrity status and becoming a fighter. You've seen what it did to Khabib. Khabib became a huge megastar after he beat McGregor one time. Now Dustin Poirier beat him 2 times convincingly back to back, and then you know what? He came out smelling like roses. He came out very well composed. he came out with the guy who looked very, like he had a lot of sense, and just, he came out looking good in this whole situation. Where Conor, he didn't look so good. He didn't show too well at the end, just the way he was even at the end of the cage, at the end of the fight in the cage, and just all how vulgar he was and things like that. It just didn't look good, So Dustin, I say he fights him again for the 4th time.
All right, so I want to set the stage here, okay? And I know I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but let's say they fight for a 4th time, and Conor comes back. He looks great, no injuries. Let's say Conor wins that fight. Now we're 2-2. What do we do then? Do we have a 5th fight?
I mean, we'll have to. It all depends on how the 4th one ended. I mean, listen, these guys can keep on fighting each other because it's real and people like to see it. It's a soap opera at this point right now. You know what I'm saying? There's a huge storyline behind it, and if you're a fan of Conor McGregor, you can legitimize in your mind why he lost that fight. You can say, you know what? I'm still with Conor McGregor. He didn't look as good as he could have looked in the end, but at the end of the day, he looked great to start off. And honestly speaking, the Conor who came out, the way he was moving, the way he came out with the heavy kick game, that's the Conor McGregor that needs to come forward every single time out he comes out and fight.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.